This is Channel 5 News.
And I'm your co-anchor, Alexander Jorgensen. It seems our lead anchor is running a little late. Tonight we have for you the situation that is currently going on south of the border. President Wilson has had conflicting relations with General Victoriano Huerta, currently the political leader with the most power in Mexico. U.S. businesses have been investing in Mexico's railroads, companies, mining endeavors, and cities since before the year 1876, and whose investments have reached into the billions. More than any other country investing in Mexico. These investments have skewed the economic balance in Mexico, making the rich richer and the poor are sinking into desperation.
Francisco Madero was taken out of power years ago after false promises of democracy during his rule. The country became more unstable than it was with
Francisco Madero was taken out of power years ago after false promises of democracy during his rule. The country became more unstable than it was with President Porfirio Diaz, who was the predecessor to Madero. Investors who were worried about the stability of their investments and of the stability of Mexico aided Huerta in seizing power from Madero to help stabilize the country and protect their investments. President Wilson refuses to acknowledge Huerta's rule following his policy of missionary diplomacy, which states that the U.S. has the right to not acknowledge governments which they believe to be oppressive or corrupt. President Wilson put in place missionary diplomacy as an expansion to the Monroe Doctrine, and was created as another way in which Wilson and the U.S. could promote democracy and democratic ideals. The U.S.'s intervention in Mexico not only stems from the use of missionary diplomacy, but from our fear of investments being lost, as well as the same beliefs that are expressed in the white man's burden.
You can do it!
I don't know, it's so heavy.
You got it! One more!
Alright, one more.
Which states that the U.S. has the responsibility to torture the world and be international police.
Get the hell out of here. That's right, Alex. And those foreign investors are not happy about the instability going on in Mexico. As our co-anchor said, they're looking for any sort of solution that will protect their investments. The United States, however, is on the edge of war with Mexico. The tension all started when the Mexican Revolution broke out in 1910 due to the desperation of the majority of Mexicans who were growing extremely poor. In 1911, Mexico's leader, Porfirio Diaz, was thrown out of office. This gave way for General Victoriano Huerta, a brutal dictator, to come to power. Despite his brutality, he was aided by the U.S. Embassy and foreign investors who, like I said, were looking for some sort of stability in Mexico. This violent overthrow resulted in the assassination of Huerta's predecessor and the death of 10,000 Mexicans. Mexico begged for the U.S. to recognize the legitimacy of their new Huerta government. However, President Woodrow Wilson and the U.S. refused to recognize it and instead favored Huerta's rival, General Venustiano Carranza. This greatly angered Huerta and other foreign investors. The U.S. had not yet intervened in Mexico, but Wilson was using the plan called watchful waiting, in which he was looking for some sort of opportunity to act against Huerta. This opportunity came in April of 1914, when one of Huerta's officers arrested a small group of American sailors in Tampico on Mexico's eastern shore. Mexicans were quick to apologize, but Wilson used this incident as an excuse to intervene in Mexico. He ordered the U.S. Marines to occupy Veracruz, an important Mexican port, in order to prevent a shipment of German arms from reaching Mexico. 19 Americans and 200 Mexicans died in this dispute. Now, tensions between the U.S. and Mexico were very high. Luckily, an all-out war was averted when Argentina, Brazil, and Chile helped to negotiate an end to the crisis. Our Mexican correspondent, Nolan Power, is in Mexico City with dictator Victoriano Huerta. Nolan?
So, Senor Huerta, what was your reaction to the U.S. Embassy and foreign investors supporting your regime?
Bueno, me gusta porque los Estados Unidos están apoyándome y mi reino, pero hay algunos que no son mis amigos como el presidente.
So, how do you feel about President Wilson wanting to intervene in Mexico?
Pues pienso que el gringo debe poner su atención en su propio país y la gran guerra en Europa. Tiene que entender que mi forma de gobierno no es como los de Estados Unidos.
So, how did you react to Wilson when he sent troops to the port in the Gulf of Mexico to stop your soldiers from getting their shipments of arms?
Yo estaba furioso. Él no tiene derecho a poner sus fuerzas armadas donde quiere. Estoy tratando de mantener paz en mi país y su presidente está apoyando esa mierda Pancho Villa.
And what do you think about President Wilson supporting your major opponent, General Venustiano Carranza?
No estoy preocupado por él. Sé que si no tuviera la ayuda de los Estados Unidos, sería muerto ahora.
So, and why do you think your government, the Huerta government, should be recognized?
Sé que los mexicanos creen que soy el mejor para el Estado. Si miras que decidan a no tener un gobierno provisional. Okay.
Well, thanks for giving me some of your time today, Mr. Huerta.
De nada, ojalá te vean pronto.
Back to you, Jake.
Thank you, Nolan. That was very interesting. Wow, those Mexicans are pretty crazy. Alright, we're going to take a short break here. Here's a word from our sponsors. See you in a bit.